kindergartners. What if I told you that you could make a toy using some stuffing, using a rubber glove, and using some fabric? Would you believe me if I said you could make a stuffed toy using a glove, a little latex glove, and some stuffing and some fabric? Would you believe me? Because over the next 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to be working really, really hard to make our very own stuffed toy using the materials from the packet that I gave you. This week is a very exciting week as far as our inquiry lessons go, because we get to start to design our very own toy. We have been learning for weeks upon weeks about how toys are made and what toys are like in other countries, and we've really been investigating the design and function of toys. Now that we've worked really, really hard on that, you get to start thinking about what kind of toy you want to invent or what kind of toy you want to make. At the beginning of the quarter, I sent home your materials this big baggie, and then I also put a plain blue piece of paper in there. It has 2 sides, 1 side, 2 side, and this is going to be your little guide as we start to design our toys. So, you're not going to be able to make any kind of toy you want, because we're going to have to make a toy using the materials in our baggie. Of course, if you have other materials at your house that you want to implement in your toy, you can do that as well. I'll go ahead and guide you today as we learn about what kind of toy we're going to make. So we're going to be talking about how can I design my own toy, and what do I need to think about before I make my own toy. We're going to be using this blue piece of paper to sketch out our ideas for our toys. Believe it or not, we're actually going to be using our hand today. We're going to be using our hand to think about how we can make our own toy. So if you get out your blue piece of paper, and also get out a pencil, you're going to use whatever hand you regularly use to hold your pencil. You're going to hold your pencil in that hand. Your other hand you're going to place right flat down on your paper. It's very important that you use a pencil for this. You're going to trace your hand. The reason why it's important that you use a pencil is because you might be erasing. All right, so once you draw your hand, we're gonna have to start thinking a little bit creative. That means we're gonna have to start thinking about how can we design a toy using the shape of our hand. Here's what you're gonna end up doing. You're going to end up using the materials from your packet, such as your glove, some of the stuffing, some of the felt or fabric, or some of the other materials. You're going to end up stuffing the glove. See, this is like a regular old glove. We're going to end up stuffing it with stuffing, and then you are going to get to make your very own toy. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you some examples of some kids that have used a glove to make their own toy. You don't have to copy one of these ideas. You can come up with your very own idea, but I'm going to show you how we're going to use this little drawing of our hand to come up with an idea of how we can make our own toy. So what you're going to end up doing is thinking about how you can use your drawing of your hand and how you can imagine that to be some sort of toy. you'll see right here that this little girl, she actually flipped her hand over and she started to see her hand as a unicorn. She started to see her thumb as the head and then all of the fingers as the legs of the unicorn. And then she added a little horn to make it an awesome little unicorn. You'll see right here that this student ended up using a little bit of erasing. Instead of tracing their hand just like this, they traced their hand like this. And so you can see that they erased it a little bit and they made a little bunny. You can see the bunny ears. Over here, this person made a little puppy. So they flipped their hand over again and they drew like, they put some eyes on it and they actually tucked their thumb a little bit lower and they imagined their puppet or their toy to be flipped over. So these are just a couple ideas for you to think about as you're designing your toy today. I don't want you to copy one of these ideas. Of course, if you really feel inspired, you can, or you can think of a whole new way you can reshape your hand to be a toy. Ooh, look at this one again. This one right here, you can see that they use their eraser again and they put their fingers together to make like a little bunny. I'm going to erase mine right now and show it to you. And then they tucked their thumb under. So they did this for their drawing to make a little tiger, not a bunny. They made a tiger ear. And so they kind of erased their picture a little bit. Instead of making their fingers go like out, they made their fingers go together and they made a little tiger. And then you'll see right here that this little girl made a peacock. So she actually used her hand like this and made a peacock. So one thing you can do before you even trace your hand is you can start thinking about how can you use your hand by putting it together or flipping it over to make a certain kind of shape that you might want to make for your toy. All right, kindergartners, the reason why it's so important to use pencil for this project is so that you can erase if you're not sure of how you want to design your picture. I decided I want to do a puppy dog. So I think I'm going to flip mine over and these are going to be the puppy dog legs and then this might be an ear and then I might like see if I can somehow add some fabric or something to create another ear. One thing that you can actually do is if you know you have an idea in mind for something but you're not sure what it looks like, you can search on your iPad a picture of that animal or that thing that you want to make. So you can see what I did is I searched dog stuffed animal on my computer. You can do it on your iPad. And I was thinking, oh, this one right here looks so cute. So maybe what I'll do is I'll add a little ear to my drawing so I can make my own stuffed dog. So I'm gonna get up my pencil and I'm gonna like add a little ear right here. So that's kind of like extra. Then I might kind of erase some things like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and start drawing the eyes and the nose and everything because this is my drawing of my dog. Sometimes dogs have little noses like that. And you can see that it's starting to look like a dog a little bit. So your assignment for today is to find this, to find your paper that looks like this and to start designing one possible toy, one possible stuffed toy by tracing your hand. And of course you can look at pictures and use other materials and resources to come up with an idea for your stuffed toy.